Is a presentation of TFNN. Live at TFNN, the Power Trading Hour, with your host, David White. Now, the author of The Path of Least Resistance and the Tech Insider, David White.
Another wonderful show here at TFNN, the headquarters for technical trading and investing. It's a fairly quiet day out here when we actually see what's happening in the marketplace, and we'll continue going along. Today in history, June 18th, the day after the Senate followed the House of Representatives in voting to declare war against Great Britain for the second time. It started the War of 1812. Most people kind of dance right by it, but the British are still stinging from their loss of the Revolutionary War. We're basically arming some north of the border and rogue Indian tribes to give the American colonies a bad time. And basically it was a lot of the English trying to put their thumb in our eye, and this was pretty much the end of it. We went ahead and it came to a draw. We weren't really going after to keep hold of all of what would become Canada. But same kind of thing. There were a lot of Game of Thrones going on. Economic blockade of France was going on. People were snagging American seamen to go into the British Royal Navy and fight against their will. A bunch of other stuff like that happened. And of course, there was no end to the just horrible brutality that the British were getting the Indian tribes along the Great Lakes to savage on just about everyone that they could get their hands on. A lot of people don't really think about just how bad some of the at that time U.S. citizens were treated by the Native Americans. And that went a long way into the way that they were treated into the 1880s. The lure of them, especially in Michigan and some of those Great Lakes states, extremely barbaric stuff, and just goes back to things like kind of the equivalent of crucifixion and other things like that to the American fighters on that side. And that when people think about it, they have to, a lot of times they forget just this part of history, which is what gave a great deal of Easterners the idea of what American Native Indians were all about. But on this day in June 18th, the second big war of our country had started. And most people are really quick to bypass history. And, of course, you got to know your history to know your future. 1810, yeah. There's a lot going on in that. Anyway, we're going to get to the news of the market out here. I wanted to just see what developed here the first couple of minutes of the show. We've been having a extremely light volume move in the market today. Just check and see what we have for volume now. Just getting now ready to click at 2 billion shares for consolidated New York Stock Exchange tape. We're up 13 points on the S&P cash. We've got a lot of probably inflection points coming here: gold, silver, copper, and some other big signals happening in currencies. And today will be very interesting that we have such light volume, not a big surprise in front of the Fed, and we'll be continuing to monitor that through the end of the day. But look for big swings over the next day. A lot of what is happening today is a long-term bet, and we're going to get into that in just a second. This morning, the housing starts missed. The Commerce Department said on Tuesday, housing starts rose 6.8%. And of course, everybody was looking to come along on the 9% we had last month. It didn't happen, and they're revising some of the units, up mildly. But some thought that was going to be more out there. The reason that we're probably having a little bounce out here today, albeit very light volume, is that President Obama was on the Charlie Rose show last night and pretty much made it extremely clear that Ben Bernanke was not welcome to come back next year. Kind of the quote went like this: Ben has stayed longer than he wanted or that he should have. And that he should have, and that should be it. What we are looking at is a lady replacing him next year, most likely, Janet Yellen, very much more attuned to Obama's politics, a Berkeley 60s, 70s economist, so hanging very much on the socialist side of the economy. And Obama pretty much very unhappy with Ben Bernanke for talking about any kind of talk about throttling QE and is making it fairly plain that he does not want him back now. The idea that we would stop QE at any point, an anathema probably to all politicians. They want the markets and everything only to go up and damn the consequences. And that's, of course, what got us here in the first place, is pushing loans that were ridiculous to be made. But it looks like we're going to be heading back into that. Janet Yellen, very close to the policies that got us into this problem in 2007 and 2008, actually the 5 years previous to that. But a little bit of a long-term bounce coming into the market today based on what most people in the tea leaves are saying, bye-bye Bernanke. HP today, basically, it's hard to tell whether they demoted him or promoted him, but the head of its printing and personal computer business, the people that really made HP the biggest computer maker in the world, is being sent to China. And the interesting part on this was that apparently, I guess he said yes. He was on the short list that Carl Icahn had for taking over Dell and throwing out Michael Dell. So there's one less person on that list. I don't know if he just figured that it probably wasn't likely that Carl Icahn's going to end up with anything, but that he took this job, one, to take over business in China. But he has a fairly good track record. The downside was that he missed, according to HP inside people, missed the entire tablet and phone business. My guess is that if he would have brought it up, and maybe even then, no one knows, that maybe he did bring it up in internal meetings, and of course no one wanted anything to do with it, just like Microsoft. Everybody wanted everybody else to go first, and then they figured they'd come in second. And but kind of interesting on two levels. HP, of course, nice bounce out there for them today. But at the same time, it is also got a little bank shot to what's happening in Dell. What are they? Yeah, they're up almost 1% out here. HP days. That can't be right. HPQ. Excuse me. HPQ. Don't you think HP should have the HP symbol? Anyway, yeah, they're up 1.5%, 25 at 53. Of course, a nice move off that bottom. and we'll continue looking at that. Other things in the news, we've been talking about Shibor, which is the Chinese labor rate. A nice chart has come out. In fact, there were several charts coming out talking about the problems China is having in its banking community. And this is the one I thought that was most impressive, and that is that the Shibor rate still seems to be extremely high in China, has not really pulled back significantly off the bounces of a week and a half ago, and going to continue watching that to see whether or not there is some problems. Some of the best analysts for China out there are starting to ring the alarm bells fairly loudly about the banking system in China, and going to watch that closely. But it still has me fairly nervous, mostly for China, and I suspect for Japan on any weakness out there. I thought that and it's not always one or two, but we've got an IPO that's postponed, and we really haven't had any of these for a few weeks, even these small ones. But Arania Therapeutics was going to come out, not ask for much, $51 million developing medications for dogs and cats based on therapies for humans. But they're saying postponed its IPO on Tuesday, citing poor market conditions. Well, I don't know if the conditions are that bad or no one wanted to invest in what they had. I suspect it is the latter. Anyway, Elon Musk took to Twitter early this morning to promote an event where he's talking about swapping batteries out. So if you wanted to take your car across the country, you could do so with swapping the battery packs. This has me a little confused because let's say that you get a battery pack that can be charged up to, let's say, 75% capacity. Could you, or do you have to keep that one when you're going cross country? Do you get your original one back? How does all that work? And not a whole lot of details on what you would get. What if you had a battery pack that still had, well, it was down to a 50% usefulness, and you ended up being stuck with that when you got to the other side of the country? I don't know. The whole thing seems a little muddled. I'm waiting for a little bit more kind of what would happen. Are they shipping your original battery pack over to the other side of the country? These things do age, and it would kind of be like switching tires. And, are you going to get the new tires that you just put on the car? Are you getting an old set of tires you got from some car that just came off of lease back? You don't really know. So the whole thing seems a little bit weird to me. But, of course, they're trying to get over what's known as range anxiety in these. And, of course, not really doing that much today out here. Huawei, I think that's how it's pronounced. The Chinese-based smartphone company is talking about buying Nokia. It popped about 30 or 40 cents this morning, which is pretty good for Nokia. That's a large little pop out there. They're talking about it now. Not a whole lot of details. No real offers. So just putting it out there. We'll be back in a minute.
The Art of Timing the Trade Charts has officially launched at TFNN. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind software, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, butterflies, ABCs, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the market for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, and even months searching to find. As part of our introductory pricing, we're offering licenses available at only $59 per month. We're so confident that you'll love this new outstanding piece of charting software that we'll even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Lock in your low price today by ordering your copy at TFNN.com.
with the launch of Tiger TV. TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With Tiger TV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, David White, Larry Pesavento, Andy Hecht, Victor Jones, or Daryl Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on Tiger TV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out Tiger TV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investments, and whether you're bullish or bearish on U.S. Treasuries, the ETFs from Direction Shares are there to help you magnify your perspective. Bull ETFs for a rising market and bear ETFs for a falling market. Direction Shares gives you the tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen, live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den, absolutely free, for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
McEwen Mining is a high-growth, mid-tier producer in the Americas with a market capitalization of $1 billion. Experienced mining executive Rob McEwen, as chairman, CEO, and president, owns 25% of the outstanding shares of McEwen Mining and has put in place an ambitious business plan with the goal of qualifying for inclusion in the S&P 500 by 2015. With $70 million in cash and liquid assets as of the end of 2012 and completely debt-free, McEwen Mining is poised for growth. Production in 2013 is forecasted to grow at 24%, reaching 130,000 gold equivalent ounces. And over the next 3 years, McEwen Mining projects that their production will increase to 290,000 gold equivalent ounces, almost a threefold increase from last year's totals. If you'd like to find out more about McEwen Mining, click on their banner on the front page of TFNN.com or check them out on the NYSE or TSX under the symbol MUX.
Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
And as we come back, just looking at a few other things that caught my interest. Samoan Air introduced an XL class. They've changed their airline tickets on a basis where they are starting to charge passengers based on their weight. Of course, anybody that's ever been to Samoa or known as Samoan, these are not the most petite of people in the world, and has the non-American Samoa, which I guess is just known as Samoa, has the world's highest rates of obesity. American Samoa, probably the same. But normally these front linemen for the NFL all come from Samoa. Basically, they're just portable roadblocks. I suspect they're so large. Most of them can move fairly well, though. But what can you say? Yeah, I think it's probably something that's going to be moving here to the Western world sooner rather than later, with the amount of people that are getting just massively large. The other thing that just kind of has made me sick to my stomach today was an ends justify the means argument. All day long, it seems like, since I turned on the TV this morning, every time I turn it off and change channels and come back to any kind of news, it's all about if we just give up all our rights and nobody needs any warrants, that everything will be fine. The NSA will protect us from all if we just give up our right to unreasonable search and seizure. Of course, it is the Fourth Amendment, and I hope everybody gets their Constitution and reads it. I know how a lot of people just say, well, I'm not doing anything wrong. That's not the point. One day there will be somebody in there that will abuse this temporary waiving of our rights because of 9/11. But it's not something that we can accept the rest of our lives. And the ends does not justify the means. And no matter how many times they want to tell us today that they've stopped 50 or 100 or 5 million Al-Qaeda terrorist plots, I am highly skeptical. Have they really won if we give up all our rights? I think, yes, the answer is yes. The terrorists have won if they have done that. But I just wanted to read this before we go into the charts at the bottom of the hour. The right of the people shall be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the places to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. I don't know how it could be any clearer out there that there is a constitutional right to know a blanket wholesale wiping your rear end with the Constitution for search and seizures. But maybe it's just me. As always, at TFNN, we are more than glad to send you a copy of the Constitution in a small booklet form that you can carry with you always. And all you have to do is always call the office. We'll be glad to send you a Constitution. Anyway, looking at the other things, just wanted to see if there's anything else moving in the market here. We've had a nice little pop out here. VIX did hold up for a while. This last little push, we're starting to roll back over again, but there just isn't any kind of volume. Closing on 2.1 billion shares, and that is just not much of a pop out here. Really leaves the door open. As looks to me like a mini short squeeze, of 13 points on the S&P cash. But I think it opens up a wide range of tests of both top and bottoms and a lot of things in the metals, in currencies. There are a lot of trades that I got signals for today and that I was waiting for. And we'll have to see how the market closes out today. But it would be very strange to see a day with 2.8 billion shares and a test of the new highs once again. Of course, we are all waiting for the Fed announcement tomorrow afternoon and the subsequent Q&A session with Ben Bernanke, but I suspect he's not going to change his tune too much. That they will probably, and most of the people on Wall Street have about a 90% probability that the throttling will come in September. We'll be back in just a minute.
Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, gives you Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. With Market Insights, nothing is left to guessing. With the market at record levels, volatility is here, and now is a perfect time to take advantage of a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights. As recently as March 26th, Tom advised his subscribers to liquidate their 4 short-term equity holdings, closing out all 4 positions for a combined 15.9% profit. And on April 1st, Tom advised his clients to sell their longer-term position in AIG warrants, locking in more than a 40% profit in just that one trade. If you'd like to see the kind of newsletter Tom O'Brien sends out to his subscribers each morning, then sign up for your 2-week free trial to Market Insights today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com.
No matter where you listen to TFNN programming, we want you to know you can always access your favorite shows on demand through TFNN.com. TFNN airs live programming every market day from 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. Eastern, and you can view each program by accessing Tiger TV through our homepage. We even have an easy link for all mobile devices, including iPhones and iPads, located at the top right-hand corner of the TFNN homepage. You can't use your smartphone to view Tiger TV, but if you don't have a mobile connection that can keep up with streaming live video, then you can simply visit TFNN.mobi in the browser of your smartphone for live streaming audio of all of our programs. The mission of TFNN is to educate our audience directly and interactively through our interactive website and radio call and talk shows. TFNN is able to teach all levels of investors the technical skills needed to trade in today's marketplace. In order to get the best information possible, TFNN has assembled the most respected financial minds in the country to provide the most current news and comprehensive advice available. TFNN.com. Educating investors.
Daryl Martin coined the phrase diagnostic trading, and we're happy to announce that his diagnostic box spread analyzer has finally been released. The Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer helps you easily identify the best box spreads on Nadex in seconds, plus you receive access to the diagnostic deviation levels, as well as step-by-step training videos teaching you how to trade Nadex spreads so you can quickly master the mechanics of this simple yet powerful trading instrument. By pulling live data from the Nadex exchange, the Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer does all the math for you, calculating risk, reward potential, distance to break even for both outright spreads and spreads used to hedge the underlying market. Visit the front page of TFNN.com today to get your 2-week free trial to Daryl Martin's Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer and gain access to the valuable information it can provide when trading the Nadex box spreads. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Harmony Gold. For more information, just click the Harmony Gold banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
There were some questions in the den about whether or not Janet Yellen would be the next Fed president. And, that's probably... You've got a little while before the confirmation happens, so anything can happen. But everything I'm looking at today, especially the foreign press, makes it sound like he's already picked her. And Ben Bernanke is already canceling appearances. He's in the last week canceled his Jackson Hole keynote appearance, where normally he's talked about any shifts in U.S. monetary policy. He will not be going there at all. Just said he won't be going. So I think in the last few weeks they've already talked, and pretty much President Obama has said that he will not be up for a confirmation next year. Yellen, on the other hand, has been hanging around and the White House and been seen going in and out several times. So I suspect that the die is already cast there, mostly from what I read. Of course, I don't have any inside information, but most of the people that follow the White House up there are saying she's probably going to be 80-90% that she is going to be the one out there, very much a fellow traveler, that she comes from Berkeley, and in the 70s at Berkeley, If you've ever been in that area, you know exactly what and how most of those people feel about what's going on. And, you know, kind of more a Keynesian than Bernanke. Maybe we'll be looking for the day that we thought Bernanke actually was Bernanke, was exactly what we were looking for. We've got a few things moving out here today. FDS, kind of a pop down very hard this morning. A lot of growth concern, missed their numbers, kind of a blow off at the top. I had a lot of volume yesterday going into earnings. This seems to be a not common occurrence here where shorts are run out right into earnings. This had 1 million shares compared to the previous high of September 14th. It had just under 400,000 shares. So could you get another test to the top? It is. I mean, this thing got down below $97 today. Has been doing some fairly decent repair. But FactSet is a financial info service to Wall Street. And that they did not make their numbers should be quite telling to some of the people out there and their business on Wall Street providing that kind of financial information. Sony, a nice little bounce out here today based on one of the leading hedge funds saying that they moved their percentage up. Of course, it's always a little gappy kind of company out here trading between the yen and the dollar. But this is getting to the point now where it's probably going to be up against a fairly stiff resistance. But a nice little pop for the SNE. I think KSS is Kohl's, if I'm not mistaken. KSS, Kohl's. Selling off a little bit today. We found out that there are some senior directors selling Kohl's stock fairly succinctly. This is at a long-term gap down, and it was running into it several times out here, but it gapped down on November 8th of 2012 on about 6.2 million shares. Came up and kind of tried to get into that gap yesterday on fairly decent amount of shares. It actually had 11.6 million shares on the 16th of May, but pulled back. Now it's tried to get up there with basically 3 million shares yesterday. A very light volume pullback yet today, but looks to me like there's at least some of the insiders on Kohl's, the clothes and what would you call it? Department store kind of retailer. Takes a lot of last year's stuff. I used to have an office by one. Really liked it, but I haven't been close to one in a long time. Rackspace is another one. RAX. Our Rackspace was up a good 5% today. This thing had been biting the chalupa for a while and is getting back up to fairly hard resistance. They got a design win from their OpenStack system. But they've gone significantly lower than this high volume low, which makes me think that they are right up against what will be probably some level of resistance. This 3830 low from May 9th continues to be kind of a big stumbling block, I guess. But we talked a little bit about whether or not I forgot who called in about Rackspace. Not a bad looking chart out here, but it was just one of these things where going to be very tough to go up against Amazon not having to make any money and continues to be an issue. A little bit of volume coming in today. If you really thought a lot about this, maybe you get a pullback in this thing. But looks to me like it's up 38.30 is probably going to be the magic number on this thing. Maybe tomorrow or the day after that, we'll start taking a look at it. You can always give me a call at 877-927-6648. That's 877-927-6648. Of course, we're using the Art of Timing the Trade charts here today. If you're watching on Tiger TV or in the den, just to remind you that the introductory pricing is over this month. Go to the front page of TFNN to get more details. Other things, FLIR, another one out there on a fairly flat day out here, even though we're up 10, up sharply. It is somebody came out as a strong buy. Basically, there were a lot of shorts they could run in this, and during expiration, not a bad deal. So they took the opportunity to come up with what I read as a fairly bogus note from one of the, I think it was Raymond James. But probably not a big deal, but had a lot of people on the wrong side of this, and took the opportunity to run them, as always, in a very short market with a very light volume going into the Fed numbers tomorrow. But decent volume today. You're going to look at 27.16 and probably going to see that test, I suspect, tomorrow. There's a long-term gap there. And if all the volume just falls out, it may be one of these that you might be looking at for a nice move. It really looks like this thing could be in a trading range from 27.50 back down to about 22.50. And we'll take a look at that. But FLIR, which is FLI Systems, forward-looking infrared radar systems. NMKD. MNKD. Mankind. This thing had some kind of blog post. It was never able to find it. That just blew this thing apart. I guess the blog supposedly had some kind of quote inside information. This thing was all set up to kind of blow up already. But of course, I'm not a big fan of shorting $8 stocks. But this one certainly had gone parabolic, and probably what you got down, if that's right, $5.70 for the low today, but maybe a bad tick. Of course, it's up in the 680 price range right now, but off on just a horrific volume. Mankind is, if I remember right here. Let me read the profile. Biopharmaceutical company focused on discovery, development, and commercialization of diabetic and cancer drugs in the United States. But apparently this blog had some idea of what was going on in their type 1, type 2 diabetes studies, but who knows who it is. Especially these farmers are tough to trade. And want to take a look at just a few other stocks that are moving in the marketplace. Wanted to see whether we got any kind of move. He probably was looking at it yesterday. I think Tom brought it up on his show. That was just a huge volume move on Walter Energy without a lot of move in the actual stock. A lot of times that is an exhaustion move. A little bounce out of this thing today, but maybe setting up an ABC down further. And of course, we don't have any kind of move back yet to actually set up that ABC, but this does not look all that good. That is a Walter Energy. Let's see if we've got some other stocks. Hang on just a second. Let me load something else up here as we talk. Again, kind of a quiet day out here. You can give me a call, 877-927-6648, or since I am in my palatial mansion, 5 stories under Tampa in a bunker, sealed like Funkin' Wagnall's, like a Beal jar? I think it was Funkin' Wagnall's porch. I can't remember what Johnny Carson had to say. But anyway, wanted to look at a few other stocks that I've been showing up in my scan for tests out here. Wanted to see how they were doing today. Bed Bath and Beyond. Been watching this one. It's come back up to where it had been fairly significant resistance. This thing came down on monster volume almost a year ago exactly, and that was on the 21st of June. This thing got blown apart, over 17 million shares down. Really tended to move this thing. And what do you have? First time it got back into this gap down was September 17th with 3.6 million shares. What we've seen over the last few days, 1.5 million shares for the biggest volume day out there. And we've had very light volume as we've come back into it now. You've had one really good volume day out here in the last few weeks. It was an up day. It was on the 5th, but a small candle. For actually that move. It actually sold off of the top out there. Since then, the volume last 4 days really looks like this thing has been coming down and probably up against some very significant resistance out here. And, of course, as always, I wonder what's beyond that back door because it's Bed Bath and Beyond. There's probably a black hole if you open up those back doors in the back of the store because there's something beyond there. Berry Petroleum, another one out here. This thing popped up on huge volume, kind of getting back into that level today and getting a little dragonfly doji out on this. Kind of interesting. BRY is a symbol on this one. I had it in my newsletter this morning as one to watch. But this is pretty much what you're looking for in a breakout with heavy volume and a light volume retrace back into the lows. Volume picked up a little bit today, which suggests you could probably take another swipe at this thing if it gets back down and below that $41 level. But be very interesting to watch that little move. With half the world, it seems like being in a riot situation. We've got Turkey, Brazil, Syria, and maybe even tomorrow the U.S. A big demonstration in Washington, D.C. against the IRS. A lot of protesting going on out there. What else is going on here? One that I've been watching for a while because I got it a huge move on it before. And I think the possibility of this thing going down to $40 is probably fairly decent yet again. That is Coinstar, the operator of the coin counters and the DVD rental kiosks. They have been fairly ineffective so far in coming up with a competitor to Amazon and or Netflix. But doing very well in the DVD rental, but kind of a borrowed time thing out there. This one certainly looks like it may be given it's a signal out here, certainly a sell signal if it ends up like it does today. You have to watch the volume before the end of the day. But you were looking, again, if you use the highest volume, which was at 59.48, with a 2.9 million shares, you certainly do have a sell signal. If you go even into some of the other ones, 2.1 million shares, 2.9 million shares, most of these highs have been in that range. Could say this thing may have had about everything it can stand out here. Of course, some of the best shorters in the market have picked this one as being incredibly open to shorting at the right time. We'll be back in a minute.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the forex market, and more. And you'll get the Technical Corner segment, which is a short but powerful weekly training session on trading. You'll get get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you just the edge you've been looking for. Try patterns, profits, and peace of mind absolutely free for 2 weeks. Go to TFNN.com and click on the free trial link at the top of the page. That's an $85 value, yours free when you register right now. Get Larry's patterns, profits, and peace of mind and get the edge you've been looking for.
Tom O'Brien's weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, has helped subscribers for over 10 years navigate the high-risk world of exploring and producing gold companies. And now's a great time to sign up for a free month-long trial to see the kind of insight that Tom delivers for his subscribers on a weekly basis. Every Monday, Tom O'Brien issues a quick update on the metal market, giving you his take on the HUI, XAU, GLD, dollar, bonds, and much more. Tom follows Monday's update with a full gold report, which is delivered to subscribers Tuesday afternoon with detailed coverage of 24 separate gold or metal stocks, as well as another 10 to 15 stocks that he lets you know are on his potential watch list. Get your month-long free trial to the Gold Report today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Don't spend another year navigating the metal markets on your own. Act early in 2013 and make the most of your gold and metal market investments. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Let me tell you something, folks. I have people coming up to me saying, I just can't believe the amount of work that Steve does on his newsletter. And I says, I absolutely agree.
That is a recent clip from the Money Masters show that Tom and I do each day at TFNN. My newsletter service, Mastering Probability, is much, much more than a newsletter. Yes, it's outperformed the S&P 500 by 100% during the last 15 months. But more importantly, it's an extraordinary education, a roadmap for your success, and it's yours risk-free for the next 30 days. Just go to the homepage of TFNN.com and click on my name, Steve Rhodes, and then Mastering Probability, because everyone needs a success strategy. For most, it's a competitive edge, the will to win, the drive to overcome any obstacle. Whatever you call it, winners find a way. Find your way to Mastering Probability today, because your journey to extraordinary rewards is just one click away.
Join Andy Hecht as he teaches you how to make money in commodities. The Commodities Hour, next on TFNN.
We've got Andy Heck directly after the show. I've already asked him a question in the end. He says he'll cover copper. To me, that is probably the metal right now that's going to be giving us the heads up in the equity department. It was down, 4 or 5 cents today. This continues to hammer away at these lows, and could be very interesting if it breaks any lower than I think here. But I'll be very interested to hear what Andy has to say, and we'll look at it. Anyway, looking at a lot of stocks moving out here, we had IBM much higher. And some of these stocks look like they're trying to set up for expiration. But kind of interesting that we are at the highs and not carrying those highs on some stocks. IBM is one. The question is whether or not we've got a little reprieve in an ABC back down. This thing really looks like it should go back and test the 187.68 low that it had after earnings. Of course, they continue to fire a ton of people trying to keep their earnings per shares up. And the question is, when will that really start hurting them? And of course, we've got, I think, some of the principals leaving this year in IBM, and I think a lot of it is just to make sure that they go out at the high and able to sell their shares unimpeded. I think we've got a few companies like that. The other one is John Chambers in Cisco. He's been pumping the stock. It's up to about $25. Of course, there's like 5 billion shares of Cisco Systems. So a real move out here. And of course, it jumped up on earnings and basically him saying that Europe was way in ahead and really rolling. Of course, none of the numbers support his belief and call. But people still adding to the internet and still buying their flagship router and router systems. But my guess is that you're going to find that Cisco has been front-loaded between now and when Chambers leaves. That means that they'll be doing everything they can to make the books look extra good on his way out the door. He's milked this company for all it's worth, and on the way out, I expect him to do nothing less. Some other stocks out there, Juniper. This one is coming back in to what looks like a fairly decent resistance levels. Not seeing a lot of movement in this stock today. And not surprising, this thing started coming down to 1562 on this low, but the volume was just horrific. It had a huge gap down into that day. So you still have the 1562 with a good and high possibility of being retested in this market. And I think probably going to see right in here where you've got 8 million shares going against the last major high of April 10th on 11 million shares, and even 12 million shares for that gap when it did move up. And then, of course, next day it did a reverse, closed and formed that gap. But that's a nice $1 gap. It's up against it now. Kind of hard for me to see anything other than this last big move up here as kind of a nice short covering rally, and probably the second half of the summer a big opportunity to come back and catch that $15.62 low with all that volume back on April 24th, which would probably be a decent buy out here in the marketplace. What else do we have going on? Natural gas, nice little pop out here. I guess maybe Andy will talk about that too. Talked about it a little bit yesterday. Of course, I have some things that my friend in the Midwest told me about the heat that I cannot repeat. But it was hot. It was very hot. Got to get Johnny Carson saying that. How hot was it? We'll see you tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time.